I want to talk about why providing value is literally stopping you and blocking you from getting your ideal clients, and why just providing the value is not enough. If you're new to the channel, I'm Andre. I'm helping creators and experts position themselves as luxury brands in the market and dominate the market with the most amazing high-end offers. And that being said, let's kind of get into it. I have some notes in here and we're gonna go through the entire thing. So the first thing that I want to get into is this kind of value trap that you might be in right now. You post a lot of tips, a lot of in-depth strategies, but the thing is, nobody, as a kind of unfortunate result of this, nobody really buys, right? And if they do buy, they're not the ideal clients. They're looking for a discount. They're looking for all of that. And we don't want that. And I've been in that space as well. The value trap is what happens when you just provide the value without emotion and relevance. Because value without emotion and relevance is just noise. You know who can provide value without emotion? ChatGPT. Like AI can literally do that. So if you're just there to just spit out tips without actually creating a human connection with your ideal clients, do you think they're gonna buy? Do you think they're gonna spend a lot of money with you? No. Because at that, you know how many, especially on Instagram, there are millions of accounts, millions of creators just providing value, and they're broke. They don't know how to position themselves in the market, and their messaging, their entire content just becomes noise. I want you to be really aware of this. Ask yourself, have I fallen in this value trap? Have I fallen in this being obsessed with step-by-step guides and tips and things like that without leveraging the human aspect, without talking about my story, without talking about emotion, talking about relevance? Am I just delivering noise with my content? Well, be super honest, because the thing is, as human beings, we love to say, yeah, I'm doing all of this, but most of the time you're not doing enough. Just providing the value is not enough. This is literally the title of the video. It's not enough to get clients. The main idea from this first point is this: if your content isn't creating connection, hopefully you can see that, there we go, don't expect conversions, right? So don't expect the money. If there's no connection, the ideal clients are not gonna pay, because we as people, we wanna feel a connection with someone that we're working with. The very first thing that I'm looking for whenever I'm talking to a potential client is this: do I actually have a connection with this person? Have I created a connection? And if not, what can I improve? Is my content just value and without showing any kind of any kind of vulnerability, any kind of talking about my fuck ups, talking about the things that I did wrong? Being a human being. Be super mindful of the value trap. The second point is this: the thing is, your ICP, so your ideal clients, only buys from you when they feel understood, when they feel seen. And you really want to get that effect with your content, it literally feels like you knew me. The minute you're able to describe your client's pain better than they can, that's when you can charge those high-end prices. And this is what I'm doing with my clients. The entire thing is, how can I position myself as that mentor, as that person in this space that is almost understanding my ideal clients to a degree where it's almost like we're friends. That's the effect that you're looking for with your content. That's why value is not enough. Simply providing value without emotion and connection is not enough, because you want to make them feel understood. You want to make them feel heard. So let me write this down. How do you make them feel seen? The very first thing is this: resonant storytelling. This is basically when you leverage your pain, your own transformation, your own wounds, the low moments, the good moments. You leverage your entire hero's journey, that's how I like to call it, and you extract from this, so this is your story, you extract from this the lessons and the things that really connect with your clients, and you create content with this. And basically, what is this gonna do? This thing is gonna create the mirroring effect. Let me try and draw something creative here. So this is you right here, and this is your content, and this is your ideal client right here. Just draw a star. I mean, this is kind of like a star. Looks weird. There we go. And this is like I'm gonna try and draw a mirror, right? So your content needs to create that mirroring effect. You use your story, you use your pain, you use the bad stuff, the negative things, the low moments, the shitty moments, the everything. You use this, you extract the lessons so much, and you basically describe their pain and their situation, and you empathize with them to a degree where whenever they look at this, they see themselves. Because this is gonna blow your mind, but your ideal client is always, I'm gonna highlight this, is always a past version of yourself. That's what it is. Your ideal client is always a past version of yourself. So you're creating content for someone who you used to be, so that you can help your clients avoid the bad stuff. You can help them avoid the pain that you went through. If you went through, like, for example, I had so many fuck ups with my businesses, so many mistakes for years on end, 3 to 5 years. The only, one of my biggest things with what I'm doing is I'm genuinely I'm trying to help you as well avoid the lack of clarity and the many fuck ups that I had. That's what I'm trying to do. And if you end up being my client and working together, awesome. If not, hopefully you can get value from this. But this is the reasoning behind this, right? Mirroring effect. Because again, they buy from you only when they actually feel seen, and when they genuinely see that you care about them, because people don't care about you until they know you care about them. So the more you obsess over their problems more than your own problems, that's when you're gonna start to take off. That's when this business, the content thing, all of it will become truly enjoyable and also effortless. That's when every client conversation is gonna become effortless. That's when interactions with potential clients, interactions with leads are gonna feel effortless, because you know you're there for the right reasons. This is really good as well. Showing you get them versus showing what you know. Showing you get them will literally drive your business forward way more than showing what you know. Showing what you know is important, don't get me wrong, but again, they don't give a fuck about what you know until they know that you get them. Does that make sense? Until they know that you truly get them, to the point where you're kind of like their friend. You're not even acting as this coach or creator who's trying to make money off of them. And that's the thing. When you're creating content for the past version of yourself, I can talk about the pain that my ideal client is going through for hours on end, because I went through that for years. Mental breakdown, stress, no leverage, feeling like I have no voice, feeling like I have to constantly chase clients only to make a living, feeling like I have to put on a mask, not being able to be myself, trying to do whatever it takes to get the next contract, the next gig, not having freedom, not having time to spend with my family, time to spend with my girlfriend, time to travel, not enjoying life. These are all these are human things that I went through, and now I'm helping people avoid this. And again, showing you get them is way more important than showing what you know. Flex your understanding of their current situation. Don't flex your knowledge. Flex your knowledge only after you flex the first thing, your understanding of their context. Boom, fire. Let's continue. The third thing, I want to talk about the new way to sell, there we go, with your content. Instead of just providing value, just for the sake of providing value, just because you heard even like me say, like, yeah, make sure you provide value, which again is important, but it's not enough. Because again, this is not enough. Instead of just saying, just like providing the value, do this. Get super clear. Let me draw here. This is your ideal client. I see, right? Get super clear on a couple of things. Current pain, deepest desire state, and this is super huge. What is the identity that they want to achieve? Three things: current pain, desire state, and identity. Once you get super clear on that, then you basically create the content that mirrors a lot of people are not going to tell you about this, that mirrors their inner world. So what does that mean? That means internal dialogue. This is content like, you might be sitting here thinking you're not good enough to fix your marriage, stuff like that. Like, you mirror their internal dialogue, you mirror their fears, their thought patterns. And a lot of this is also NLP. So a lot of this is anchoring. I'm literally going to do a video about this because it would take me like 2 hours just to break this down. Anchoring. You want to create, this is an anchoring here, you want to create anchors for your audience. So what is an anchor? Basically describing a situation that A, they went through, or B, that they want to get to. So anchor, for example, this could be, remember like how stressful it was for you to not have to not be in the shape that you want. Remember how much stress and depression and all of that like brought you. That is an anchor, right? So that is a past situation or a future situation. So you can also do that. You can anchor like this, like imagine, and this is also like future pacing and painting a picture. So imagine 6 months from now when you got all of the techniques, and you're finally the person that you wanted to be. And obviously this can be flipped in different angles and in so many different ways for different niches. But what I really want to tell you with this is that, again, you have to speak to their inner world. And the more you're going to be able to mirror their internal dialogue, I promise you, by the time you actually have a conversation with them, it's going to be so effortless to sell, because it's almost going to be like selling without selling. This is the actual new way. So you sell without selling. You don't try and beg people. You don't try to convince people. No, you provide the value, yes, but that's not enough. You speak to their inner world. You create basically that connection with them on a deep human level. And then by the time they actually talk to you, they feel and they know that you get them. So it's not going to be a question of like, what do I get with the program and a lot of resistance. It's actually going to be the opposite way. It's going to feel effortless. That's literally how one of my clients, I'm going to put it up on the screen, got it paid in full last night, just through like a simple conversation, because that person knew that my guy is the guy to help him. And not only him, like all of my clients are doing this because this is the way to sell. This is the new way. Sell without selling. Instead of just, again, showing them what you know and showing them the fancy new technique, show them that you truly get them on a human level. And then obviously techniques and strategies and the value, they are necessary, but they're not enough, right? And also with them, there's a couple of more things, like show the cost of inaction, right? And everything that you do needs to reflect two things: the pain that they're trying to get away from and the pleasure that they're trying to get. They're trying to avoid a pain, they're trying to achieve and get more pleasure. Get super clear on what is that pain, what is that pleasure, what is that desire state, and then literally you're gonna be able to get your ideal clients. It's gonna feel effortless. It's not gonna feel like you're pushing so hard and trying to convince so hard and everyone is ghosting you, because I know I was there. That's literally why I'm giving you all of these frameworks in this video. But obviously this is just like feel like the tip of the iceberg. Like, we would need 6 more hours minimum for me to break down every single tactic and like the framework, and not only the tactic, but like the actual mind state behind all of these processes. So point is, if you like what I'm talking about here, if you're kind of like struggling right now, to get those ideal clients, to charge more, if you want to position your brand as a luxury brand, as a unique hero brand, as I like to call it, and if you want to become an unlocked creator, this is the term that I'm using. DM me down below on Instagram for my one-on-one mentorship. We'll see if we connect again on a human level. And if you're an amazing fit, we're gonna jump in and we're gonna build you the brand that you deserve so that you can work with the clients that you want to work with. I'll see you in the next one.